This is not about just constitutional issues, it's about Brexit itself. As Lady Baroness Hayter herself pointed out, she said the only justification for doing what we're doing, for not abiding by our normal procedures, allowing proper discussion, allowing expertise from outside to be drawn into it, was because if we prolong it, it increases the risk that we leave in what she calls a no-deal Brexit, i.e. on WTO terms. She considers that a disaster. I consider a far greater disaster would be to set aside the will of the people as solemnly requested in a referendum, with a promise repeated by all the leaders of all the parties, all our former prime ministers, that whatever the decision was, I'll give way in 1 second, whatever the decision was, they would implement it. I give way.
Does he mean how long does he believe you should continue? 5 years, 10 years?
I entirely agree. It's quite reasonable to have a referendum every 45 years, which is all the time we've had to wait before we've had this second referendum. I think we're all more experienced now than we were 3 years ago of the sort of organisation we're dealing with in the European Union. One thing is certain, during the referendum campaign, no one said, "Would you like to vote to ask permission to leave?" Like a little primary school child in the classroom putting up their hand and saying, "Please, miss, may I leave the European Union?" That is a nonsense. We voted to leave. The Prime Minister of the day said if we left, we would leave on WTO terms. I want to argue that that is not too frightening. I want to deal with the central argument that was put forward by Baroness Hayter, that it will be a disaster if we don't get this legislation through because of the amendments that we're now considering, and that we leave with no deal on WTO terms. I maintain it would not be a disaster. What would be a disaster would be denying democracy, and I won't give way, I'm sorry.